Happy Days once defined family joy in the 70s and 80s. Yet the happy days of its cast didn't last forever. Some stars aged harshly, some took paths filled with tragedy, and others surprised audiences by maintaining the same charm they had decades ago. Let's take a look back, and you'll be shocked at how unbelievable the changes are. Al Molinaro as Al Del Vecchio. At 55 years old, Al Molinaro appeared in Happy Days in 1976, playing Al Del Vecchio, the clumsy but kind owner of Arnold's Drive-In. His catchphrase, "Yep, yep, yep, yep," quickly became a trademark that made audiences laugh. Across 145 episodes, Molinaro helped create the warm, familiar atmosphere of the show, turning a seemingly small supporting role into the soul of the diner scenes where all the young characters grew up together. Al Molinaro, born on June 24, 1919, in Kenosha, Wisconsin, carried a quiet pain, the breakdown of his family. He had been married twice, and both marriages ended sadly. A man who made millions of viewers laugh on screen, yet when the studio lights went out, he returned to cold emptiness. These personal failures led Molinaro to live a private life, avoiding the media, as if silence was the only wall protecting his peace. For a man with only one son, the dissolution of his marriages was not just a romantic failure, but also a deep crack in his heart, a crack that never truly healed. On October 30th, 2015, he breathed his last in Glendale, California, at the age of 96, due to complications from a gallbladder infection after refusing surgery. His net worth was estimated at $10 million, from acting, Wendy's commercials, and real estate investments. While he left behind a considerable sum, the image fans remember most is not his wealth, but the gentle diner owner behind the counter at Arnold's Drive-In, a simple yet immortal symbol of American television. Marian Ross as Marian Cunningham. When was Marian Ross 46 years old, she joined Happy Days in 1974 as Marian Mrs. C. Cunningham, the warm, funny, and intelligent mother of the Cunningham family. She became the emotional heart of the show, a model of the 1950s American housewife beloved by audiences nationwide. Though she never won an Emmy or Golden Globe, the role elevated Marian Ross from a sporadic supporting actress to a television star recognized across America, symbolizing the enduring bond of family. Marian Ross, born on October 25, 1928, in Watertown, Minnesota, had to endure a difficult wound, a broken marriage. She had lived with Freeman Meskimen for 18 years, thinking she had found her haven. But in 1969, the marriage ended, leaving Marian Ross to raise two young children on her own. For a woman at that time, divorce meant stigma and countless financial hardships. By day, she was the nation's mother on screen. By night, she was a woman tossing and turning, calculating every expense to care for her children. That period deeply forged her resilience, a strength that moves audiences to tears when they learn about it. In 2025, Marian Ross is 97 years old, still living in Los Angeles, occasionally appearing at cast reunions. She no longer acts much but writes memoirs, participates in charity events, and has become an inspirational symbol for women about independence and perseverance. Her net worth is currently estimated at around $10 million, mainly from decades of acting, book royalties, and investments. Even in her later years, Marian Ross is remembered by audiences as the heart of Happy Days, a living testament to the power of rebirth from personal pain. Erin Moran as Joni Cunningham. At 14 years old, Erin Moran played Joni Cunningham, the playful, curious, and sweet younger sister of Richie, in Happy Days in 1974. Her character quickly captured the hearts of viewers, leading to a spin-off, Joni Loves Chachi. Across more than 200 episodes, this role turned Moran into a sought-after teen star nationwide, a symbol of the innocent youth of a classic sitcom. Erin Moran was born on October 18, 1960, in Burbank, California, and she faced a tragic downfall that few could have imagined: the collapse of her career after Happy Days. As the spotlight dimmed, Moran struggled with unemployment, mounting debts, and alcoholism. Her marriage to Steve Fleischman, which she hoped would be a rescue, did little to alter her declining circumstances. In her later years, she lived in poverty, residing in a mobile home after losing her house. For someone once celebrated by millions of fans, being pushed into such destitution was a shocking and heartbreaking example of Hollywood's harsh, darker side. On April 22, 2017, Erin Moran passed away at the age of 56 in Indiana due to complications from late-stage throat cancer. She left behind only a modest estate of about $50,000, mostly from residual royalties and family support. Yet the image that fans remember is not her decline, but the bright, innocent smile of Joni Cunningham, the little girl who once represented joy on Happy Days, whose real-life story, nevertheless, shook Hollywood to its core. Angus Macfadyen as Robert the Bruce. Angus Macfadyen left a lasting impression as Robert the Bruce in Braveheart, 1995, the Scottish leader torn between honor and betrayal when he was 32 years old. His character was the key to the film, bringing a complex inner dimension that made the story about more than just battles on the field. It became a struggle within the human soul. This role brought Macfadyen close to stardom and opened the doors of Hollywood to him. Angus Macfadyen was born on September 21, 1963, in Glasgow, Scotland. But after the spotlight of Braveheart, he sank into the darkness of depression. The mental burden of portraying a historical figure, combined with the sudden pressure of fame, pushed him into a frightening silence. For many years he withdrew from the screen, losing momentum just as his career needed a breakthrough. Depression eroded his vitality, turning a brilliant talent into a shadow behind the scenes, leaving audiences who once had high expectations heartbroken. By 2025, Angus Macfadyen is 61 years old, living privately in England and occasionally returning to film and theater. Though he reprised his role as Robert the Bruce in the 2019 film of the same name, his career never fully regained the momentum of Braveheart. His net worth is estimated at $4 million, primarily from film and stage work. He remains a testament to the fragility between peak success and the abyss, a talented artist bound by inner darkness. Sophie Marceau as Princess Isabel. When Sophie Marceau was 29 years old, she captivated international audiences as Princess Isabel in Braveheart, 1995. Her character's intelligence, charm, and compassion added a romantic dimension to the story, balancing the film's brutality with tenderness. This role propelled Marceau from a French star to a global cinema icon. Sophie Danielle Sylvie Maupoux was born on November 17, 1966, in Paris, France. After the triumph of Braveheart, her personal life fell into ruthless turmoil. Her long-term relationship with director Andrzej Żuławski, who was much older than her, ended bitterly in 1996 amid allegations of violence and emotional harm. She had a child with him, but the breakup left an indelible wound on the soul of a woman constantly scrutinized by the world. Behind her dazzling beauty, Marceau endured betrayal and public judgment, a tragedy only those involved could fully understand. By 2025, Sophie Marceau is 58 years old, still active in cinema but increasingly focused on directing and screenwriting. She divides her time between France and the U.S., maintaining her personal freedom while openly defying ageist expectations, refusing cosmetic surgery to cling to fame. With a net worth estimated at $20 million, largely from international films and French cinema, Marceau today stands as proof that after scandal and heartbreak, a star can endure through resilience and strength. Anson Williams as Patsy Weber. At 25 years old, Anson Williams joined Happy Days in 1974 as Patsy Weber, the innocent best friend of Richie Cunningham. Patsy brought laughter through optimism and loyalty, and he was also the voice of the group, giving viewers a glimpse of youthful musical dreams. Across 211 episodes, Williams made Potsy an indispensable part of the memories of multiple generations. Anson William Heimlich was born on September 25, 1949, in Los Angeles, and he faced a life-or-death challenge in 2016, a stage 2 colon cancer diagnosis. During 3 long weeks in the hospital after 2 surgeries, he confronted the ultimate fear, that he might never see his children or set foot on a film set again. Though the physical scars gradually healed, the memory of nearly losing everything remained a haunting reminder. For someone who brought joy to millions, the image of Anson quietly fighting in a hospital bed is a tragic chapter few ever saw, yet it underscores his extraordinary resilience. By 2025, Anson Williams is 76 years old, living in California, still directing television, Beverly Hills 90210, and actively involved in cancer charity work. After a divorce from Lori Mahaffrey, he found happiness again, remarrying Sean Mock in 2023. His net worth is around $3 million, from acting, producing, and business ventures. Today, the image of the optimistic Potsy remains, but behind it is a man who stared death in the face and returned stronger than ever. Ron Howard as Richie Cunningham. At just 20 years old, Ron Howard became Richie Cunningham, the red-headed, optimistic teen embodying the all-American ideal in Happy Days, 1974. Across 170 episodes spanning 8 seasons, Richie was the heart of the series, guiding audiences through coming-of-age stories that were at once innocent and profound. This role allowed Howard to escape the child star label of The Andy Griffith Show and establish himself as a grown-up Hollywood talent. Ronald William Howard was born on March 1, 1954, in Duncan, Oklahoma. Though fortunate enough to avoid scandals or vices, the shadow of early fame cast its own silent tragedy. In the early years of Happy Days, he admitted being haunted by the pressure of the Wonder Boy image, constantly needing to prove he wasn't just a lucky kid actor. The stress kept him sleepless, living in fear that his career might crumble if he didn't break free from the Richie mold. This invisible burden eventually drove him behind the camera, where he could control the story without being trapped in front of it. By 2025, Ron Howard is 71 years old and one of Hollywood's most influential directors, behind hits like Apollo 13 and A Beautiful Mind, winner of 2 Oscars, and co-founder of Imagine Entertainment. He lives peacefully with his wife, Cheryl Alley, whom he married in 1975, has 4 children, and steers clear of controversy. With a net worth of roughly $200 million, largely from directing, producing, and his production company, Howard's journey proves that a child raised in the glare of fame can grow into adulthood without losing balance in life. Don Most as Ralph Malph. In 1974, 21-year-old Don Most stepped into the shoes of Ralph Malph, the prank-loving, comedic heart of Richie Cunningham's circle. Across 168 episodes, Ralph's sarcastic quips became a crucial part of the show, lightening tense moments and bringing laughs to millions. For most, the role was a ticket from obscurity to becoming a familiar face on American television. Donald Most was born on August 8, 1953, in Brooklyn, New York. He never faced scandal or serious illness, but he endured another type of hardship: being typecast. After Happy Days, the image of Ralph Malph clung tightly to him, leaving him repeatedly rejected for other roles. His rising career suddenly stalled, leaving Don bewildered as colleagues shined while he felt stuck. For a young actor, losing control over his own image was a bitter blow. He once admitted he avoided going out for fear of being called Ralph instead of Don, a silent torment for someone who had brought so much joy to others. By 2025, Don Most is 72 years old, finding new joy in swing music and independent directing. Married since 1979 with 2 children, he maintains a private life. His net worth is around $2 million, mostly from acting, singing, and guest appearances. While he never reclaimed Hollywood's spotlight, Don Most keeps his smile and passion alive, a reminder that happiness can be found in embracing a quieter, steady life after being swallowed by fame. Scott Baio as Chachi Arcola. At just 16, Scott Baio became Chachi Arcola, the mischievous younger cousin of Fonzie in Happy Days, 1977. Chachi quickly captured audiences' hearts, especially through his on-screen romance with Joni Cunningham, one of the show's most beloved storylines. The role propelled Baio from an unknown teen actor to one of late 70s television's youth icons. Scott Vincent James Baio was born on September 22, 1960, in New York. Later, he faced a series of scandals that overshadowed his career. In 2018, actress Nicole Eggert accused him of sexual misconduct when she was 14. Although Baio firmly denied the allegations and authorities did not press charges, the scandal attached a cloud of suspicion to his name, further complicating an already faltering career. His outspoken political views also sparked ongoing controversy, reshaping the public perception of a teen idol. On a personal note, he endured another profound struggle. His only daughter was diagnosed with autism, turning his later years into a journey of protecting family while facing public scrutiny. By 2025, Scott Baio is 65 years old. Though no longer a major star, he continues to appear in smaller projects and devotes most of his time to family. His net worth is estimated at $4 million, from series like Charles in Charge, See Dad Run, and old television contracts. The mischievous image of Chachi remains in fans' memories, but Scott Baio's real-life story is a testament to the delicate line between fame and controversy. Beatrice Colen as Marcia Sims. At 26, Beatrice Colen appeared as Marcia Sims, the cheerful waitress at Arnold's Drive-In in Happy Days, 1974. With her natural, witty performance, Colen left an indelible mark, becoming a beloved part of the diner, the central hub where all the young characters gathered. Beatrice Colen was born on January 10, 1948, in New York. Her life carried a heartbreak that still moves audiences. In 1999, after battling lung cancer for 5 years, she passed away on the very night her son made his stage debut. What should have been a family night filled with pride and celebration turned into an unspeakable loss. For her husband, actor Patrick Cronin, that evening became a dual memory, both a milestone for their child and a day of mourning they would never forget. Colen's death was more than the loss of an actress. It was a wound etched deep in the heart of her family. On November 18, 1999, Beatrice Colen passed away in Los Angeles, California, at the age of 51. She left an estimated net worth of around $500,000, primarily from television roles in Happy Days and Wonder Woman. In fans' memories, she will always be the smiling waitress of Arnold's. In her family's heart, she is the mother gone when happiness should have been complete. Ted McGinley as Roger Phillips. When Ted McGinley was 22 years old, he joined Happy Days in 1980 as Roger Phillips, the energetic gym teacher, Marian Cunningham's nephew, and a mentor to the younger crowd. His character brought a fresh breeze to the series, marking a transitional period as the main cast gradually shifted. Ted Martin McGinley was born on May 30, 1958, in Newport Beach, California. Yet behind his charm lurked a peculiar Hollywood curse, the nickname Show Killer. Nearly every series he joined, from The Love Boat to Married with Children, was canceled after just a few seasons. For years, this label became a psychological burden, both amusing and bitter, as his talent was constantly overshadowed by an aura of misfortune. For a dedicated actor, giving your all yet being perceived as a harbinger of failure is a quiet tragedy, forcing McGinley to maintain his composure while public ridicule loomed. By 2025, Ted McGinley is 67 years old, maintaining a steady career in television and mid-tier films. He lives peacefully with his wife, actress Gigi Rice, whom he married in 1991, and their 2 children. His net worth is estimated at around $5 million, accumulated over decades of acting and commercials. While the show killer tag still shadows him, McGinley has learned to turn it into a humorous anecdote, proving that no stereotype can completely destroy an artist's resolve. Cathy Silvers as Jenny Piccolo. In 1980, 19-year-old Cathy Silvers played Jenny Piccolo, the mischievous, scheming friend of Joni Cunningham in Happy Days. Across 55 episodes, Jenny became the group's rebellious spice, bringing laughter and chaos to the screen. Though she appeared later in the series, the role helped Silvers step into the spotlight and remain a memorable young face during the show's final seasons. Cathy Silvers was born on May 27, 1961, in New York. In 2020, she faced a life-altering shock, a severe bicycle accident that left her hospitalized for months. Those days in the hospital forced her to confront the fragility of life head-on. From a familiar television actress, Cathy suddenly became a patient, battling pain and the fear of permanent disability. This tragedy reshaped her, inspiring her to embrace holistic health and regain control over her body after a fateful fall. By 2025, Cathy Silvers is 64 years old, living in California, working as both an actress and entrepreneur in the health and nutrition field. Her net worth is estimated at $1.5 million, derived from acting roles, Foley Square, Sesame Street, and building her own wellness brand. The accident nearly took everything, yet it also opened a new chapter, a story of rebirth from devastation. Lynda Purl as Ashley Pfister. At 27, Lynda Purl took on the role of Ashley Pfister, the mature, grounded girlfriend of Fonzie in Happy Days, 1982. Ashley offered a striking contrast to Fonzie's famously carefree persona, adding new depth to the beloved character. With this role, Purl made her mark as a breath of fresh air, showcasing her nuanced acting in one of television's most iconic sitcoms. Lynda Purl was born on September 2, 1955, in Greenwich, Connecticut. Her personal life, however, was far from smooth. She experienced 5 marriages, including a brief romance with Desi Arnaz Jr., son of the legendary Lucille Ball. The repeated cycles of marriage and divorce exposed Purl to public scrutiny and long-lasting feelings of insecurity. For a woman often seen as composed and mature on screen, these personal upheavals became a quietly painful narrative, a series of hopes found and lost in love. By 2025, Lynda Purl is 70 years old, still active in acting, appearing in series like Matlock and The Office, as well as performing on stage in musicals. Her net worth is estimated at around $5 million, earned from decades in television and theater. Every time she steps in front of an audience, Purl proves that while love may falter, the light of art remains a steadfast companion throughout her life. Lynda Goodfriend as Lori Beth Cunningham. In 1977, 24-year-old Lynda Goodfriend portrayed Lori Beth, the gentle girlfriend who eventually became Richie Cunningham's wife in Happy Days. Across 66 episodes, Lori Beth brought balance to the story, representing pure love and family happiness amid a cast in constant flux. This role cemented Goodfriend as the face of Richie's happy ending before he left the series. Lynda Goodfriend was born on October 31, 1950, and life tested her with a private battle against cancer. For years, she fought quietly, shielding her pain behind the doors of family life. With her husband, director David L. Roper, and their only child, her treatment was a cycle of hope and despair, glimmers of light interrupted by waves of darkness. Friends recall days when she was nearly exhausted, but kept her smile so her child would never see the harsh reality. It was a long, silent struggle that moved fans deeply when the news finally came. On March 7, 2024, Lynda Goodfriend passed away at the age of 73. She left an estimated net worth of $1 million, derived from her television acting career and several teaching roles. In the hearts of viewers, she will forever remain the gentle Lori Beth, the woman who brought happiness to Richie Cunningham on screen, yet in real life departed amid pain that no one could ease. After more than 4 decades, the Happy Days cast has changed in ways few could have imagined. Some have aged harshly, some are gone forever, and others still manage to surprise us. Which character do you remember most from Happy Days? Leave a comment, hit like, and subscribe so you don't miss the next stories.